How's it going, everybody? Doing another gum chewing unpopular opinions video here today. A lot of you liked the first one. That was a request, and I was asked if kind of do more of them. So I had some in my head, and I've lost some, so I'm going to try to think of them along the way. I don't know how many of these are necessarily extremely unpopular, but actually, you know what? This might be a pretty unpopular opinion, but maybe it isn't. But I think coffee is disgusting. I think it's like one of the grossest things ever. And this is coming from someone who's been drinking energy drinks and soda and all types of crap. That's not really meant for consumption, but I think it's disgusting. Like, I've had it once or twice, and it's just, I don't know what it is. Like, it just, and the way people act. Don't talk to me unless I've had my morning cup of coffee. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'm like mostly joking here, but people get like that. I mean, I don't know, maybe some of you do. Like, you can just snap at somebody because that to me is like, that's something wrong with you, because I'm not gonna snap at somebody unless they're being an idiot, you know? And that wouldn't matter if I had coffee or not. Coffee, I should say. I'm saying it the Long Island way. Coffee. I mean, if I'm drinking anything, obviously I'm gonna drink tea over that, but it's just so, like, and it smells, like, terrible. And yeah, people, like, I had a friend like that. That would be, like, all, irritable and shit without coffee. It's, like, really, like, that to me tells me there's some kind of addiction there or something, because if you need something to, like, it might as well just be booze then, you know? Drink booze to alter your personality. I remember this was 2005 maybe. I was hanging out with someone and they're like, oh, you know, coffee came up. I'm going to try to say it the right way. If I'm going to bash on it, I should at least say it the right way, right? And like, oh, this is iced coffee. Like, oh, you gotta try iced coffee. I was like, I do not like, I hate it. I'm like, I just don't like it. I think it's gross. And like, not just shit, you know, give it a try. So they buy one for me from 7-Eleven. Was it 7-Eleven? No, maybe it was Dunkin' Donuts. It was Dunkin' Donuts. I took 2 sips. I was like, this is worse than regular coffee. It's worse. Like, oh, so, like, it's like dirt and water. Like, coffee is like dirt and water. It's like, I'm gonna pick up some dirt, throw some water in it, and throw it in the microwave. It probably tastes better. And then they have all the weird ones now too, the Starbucks stuff. Like, oh, you know, get the fuck out of here. It's like $5-6 for that shit. It's just, I mean, I don't even necessarily think that might probably isn't even. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys drink it? Do you love it? Do you want to break someone's arm if you haven't had it in the morning and they come up to you and try to have a conversation? Like, to me, that screams something's wrong up here. Like, what? I needed to wake up. Like, you know what I need to wake up? I just go in the shower and I'm awake. Like, get some proper sleep. Yeah, it's disgusting. Oh, it's just, and I've had it 2 or 3 times, you know, maybe more back in the day. Like, you give something a shot multiple times for some reason because I'm an idiot, and I'm like, I didn't like it the first 4. Let me try it the 5th, or you want to try different ones. No, man, it's just, ugh. It should be illegal. Same thing with, like, alcohol. Like, and I obviously drink. I don't drink it often. I haven't in this is me just ranting, I guess, like the way it's portrayed on TV, like, and now like weed is legal in a lot of states now. And people like act like, oh my god, weed's legal. It's like you're gonna give alcohol a fucking pass, but harp on weed. Get the fuck out of here. I always felt like the beer commercial. I love the beer commercials though. They're like at the tail end. They're like drink responsibly, like real quick, like drink responsibly. Like no, you should show somebody, show the people being happy, and hey, I can enjoy it, right? Whenever I drink, I just get more talkative. I don't like my dad was a mean asshole drunk. Not like a physical one, but like just come in and he'd get all angry and shit and pissed. And I remember like I talked about it in videos, life videos or something. How he used to flip out. And then in the night they pretty much got separated. He came home shit faced, breaking shit and throwing stuff, acting like a bozo. But it's like, how about after the commercial when you say drink responsibly, show somebody in the gutter, show a car destroyed, like show someone beating their significant other, because they had some booze in them. And this comes from somebody who drinks alcohol. I just think it's funny how like I guess the money's in it, right? Big companies have money in it, so alcohol commercials everywhere, and everybody's having fun, and they got a celebrity to do a commercial, And listen, I'm not a beer connoisseur, but I think most of it tastes the same. There's another unpopular opinion, I guess. I think it all tastes the same. Alcohol. Like I have some that I like now. I'm generalizing, but it doesn't all taste the same. But a lot of beer, at least in the U.S., I don't know how it is in countries where the alcohol content's hard. I mean, you'd think America, the way our alcohol content per beer would be a lot higher than it is because other countries are like 8-9%. Some of them hit that now with the IPAs and stuff, but the regular stuff's like 4 or 5. Hard ciders are stronger. That's when I always laugh when people are like, oh, someone's drinking wine, I drink beer. It's like wine's stronger, but whatever, I used to think beer was just like piss, especially when I was in high school. Like I would just drink to get drunk. Like I wasn't like, oh, I love the taste. I wanted to alter the way I felt, and I didn't. That's just. I guess it also is your personality, right? If you have that anger in you, something like alcohol is gonna just amplify it and bring it out. I don't have that, so I would just get goofier and more talkative because I'm naturally I'm shy. Talking around people, you give me drinks. I'm starting to talk with everybody, It's not. I guess it's not. I guess it's no unpopular. I guess the unpopular opinion is more that I think so much of it tastes the same, and it's like, okay, I want the one that has this and that. Like it's like what? I don't know. Did I talk about Marvel movies in the last one? I think so many of those Marvel movies are just they're so ridiculous and over the top. Like I watched the first. I'm talking about like when they started to push the shit because I really like those X-Men movies. I like First Class. And I like Days of Futures Past. Apocalypse one was okay, and then that Dark Phoenix was awful. But like Avengers Endgame and what was the Infinity War? Like I've seen parts of these movies, and I'm like, get the hell out of here, man! Like I don't know. I guess you have to watch every single one to give a shit because I'm just like, what? And apparently they're just getting worse. And I tuned out of that shit. I saw the first Captain America. I think I saw the first Iron. I think I saw the first 2 Iron Man movies. I saw the first Thor. I think I saw Ragnarok too at some point. At least most of it. And I was already done. Like I'm like, it was already too much. I mean, is that even an unpopular opinion? Like, can people just sit here and say, yeah, it's too much. There's too much of this shit. It's like Star Wars. They like shove it down your throat. It's like, and Star Wars, like The Mandalorian. I watched some of it, and I was like, whatever. Like I don't know. But here's one. I assume a lot of people love The Walking Dead. Fucking show bores the hell out of me. And I tried like 7 or 8 times. I would always I'm like, You know, because I would know people like it, and like for some reason I was always hanging out with someone, and the premiere of a season was coming on. You gotta watch this one, and I should like it because it involves people walking around scavenging things and stuff. But it's fucking boring. And Rick, like, get the guy, like Rick's like, "Rrr," and then he's crying in the corner. Like 2 minutes later, I think they do. I think my friend said they do acknowledge. It's like Rick's like the freaking scumbag killer and murderer of like hundreds probably. He's no better than any of the other bad guys on the show. But that show bores me. It's just so boring. Like, I've probably seen 10 to 12 episodes, and I'm just like it's just, I'm like, it's like watching an ASMR video. I'm like, but I'm not watching Walking Dead to relax and go to sleep, you know? It's so boring. It's so fucking boring. The Marvels, it's like the Star Wars stuff too. Like I've said about Star Wars, it's like it's funny how people like pick and choose what they're gonna love that they pull into Star Wars. That was from the Clone Wars. It's incredible. And Darth Maul somehow survived. Get the fuck out of here. He was cut in half and fell down a shaft. I guess they explained in the Clone Wars if he used his powers. Get the fuck, what? I guess falling down a shaft in Star Wars too, because didn't the Emperor survive it too? Or no, that was a clone or something, right? I have not watched those full. I thought The Force Awakens was cool. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion. I thought that, like, you know, it's almost a retelling of A New Hope, but it was pretty cool. And then I just never got around to The Last Jedi, and everybody said it was garbage. And I did watch parts of it, and I was like, yeah, this is not, doesn't seem great. Oh, was that one, or was it Rise of Skywalker, where they're trying to bomb, I guess, one of the big, I was going to say Imperial First Order, right? The ships, and I got Poe Dameron's like what's the guy's name? Hux, the bad guy, and he's like talking to him over the intercom, and I thought it was a comedy. The guy was just crying. It was like joke after joke. I'm like, what? I'm like, is this like a comedy? I'm like, wow. Yeah, people like pick and choose, like, oh, Ahsoka or whatever her name is. Oh, yeah, she's great, but this one sucks, you know. Grogu can do this, but Rey can't, you know, like, no. Grogu is another, like, that's why I watched some of The Mandalorian. I'm just like, ugh. The Book of Boba Fett too wasn't that, but from what I watched of that, wasn't that good either. I think, you know, the part of the problem is for me, I don't think I'm as big a Star Wars fan as I would like to maybe believe I am. You know, is it an unpopular opinion? I enjoyed the prequel trilogy back when it came out. It would have been more of an unpopular opinion because people were shitting all over that thing. Revenge of the Sith people liked, but like Attack of the Clones, and don't get me wrong, some of the dialogue is awful. Like, and that's another thing. People like prop up George Lucas after he sells the franchise, and it really turns to shit. All of a sudden, Lucas is great now. Like some of his dialogue, I mean, the story building, like the world building stuff was really cool, but the dialogue he wrote in the prequels was terrible. You know, it was carried by some really good performances by like Ian McDermott, the guy who plays the Emperor, Palpatine, and Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan, you know, Qui-Gon in the first one and stuff, but I really like those movies though because I was too young. Like, I wasn't born when the first one came out. I was like a year old when the second one came out, and I would have been like 4 when Return of the Jedi came out. And I watched them in the 80s, but Phantom Menace, that first one, was like, oh, I'm actually going to see Star Wars. I was 20 when it came out. I was like, this is awesome, and I enjoyed the shit out of it. Now, I could even say, like I said, Attack of the Clones probably has some of the worst dialogue in it. I thought Hayden Christensen's performance was not great in Attack of the Clones. I thought he was much better in Revenge of the Sith. And I thought, I mean, whatever, I wasn't, you know, regardless of what I think of his thing, he's never going to know, because I'm not going to go online and bash the human being forever, you know, it's just stupid. But you see it now, though, I guess kids who were like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, who saw those prequels, they love it still now. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what the prequels were almost more, they were definitely more kids' movies, I think, than the original trilogy. Because in Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, it's pretty dark, man. Like, it's not, you know, it's no picnic. Although you'd say the same thing about Revenge of the Sith, with the Order 66 and shit. The Walking Dead's one that I would think is unpopular because I watched enough of it, and it never pulled me in. I was like, and I wouldn't just, I would watch more, a couple of episodes consecutive to see maybe, and nope, not gonna happen. I tried that a few different times, and then I was like, I'm done. Like, I can't. Well, no. But then I see some of the other Star Wars stuff, and I'm just like The Mandalorian, and I can't say it was bad. I'd be lying, but I was just like, this is another one that I'm just like, whatever, man. Oh, here's a little Yoda. He's Grogu. Can you tell me they just throw that in there? People would be like, oh my god, and then all of a sudden he's doing everything. Those are opinions, though, right? My opinion doesn't mean jack shit to anybody else who likes it. So, but that's what I'm doing, right? Unpopular opinions. I talked about briefly the Hideo Kojima shit. Love the Metal Gear Solids. Like I said, I have not played Death Stranding. I know he's done some other one. He did that one on Sega CD. What was it called? I forget. I'm specifically talking about the Metal Gears where the games are great. The gameplay's cool, graphically looks nice. Some of the story stuff's cool, and Solid Snake and Big Boss, or when he's Naked Snake, Ball, Big Boss. There's a lot of cool characters, but it's just the story is so ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. Like, what? I think it isn't the end of Sons of Liberty too. It's Guns of the Patriots when Big Boss and Snake meet in the graveyard, and Boss is like, and Snake's like, "How are you still alive?" It's like, well, here comes my ridiculous reason why I'm still alive. They took parts of Solidus. I wasn't really dead. This stuff was not written. Like, he didn't have this shit in his head in advance. There's no way. He's like, oh wait, Big Boss was dead at the end of the. I'm pretty sure he was dead at the end of the NES one, but now making more games years later, somehow he's coming back. There was Solidus Snake, Liquid Snake. But I think it was Solidus who they built parts. So they took body parts to rebuild him. Like, and I remember just the end of Guns of the Patriots, and that's an awesome game. Like, graphically, the stealth, everything's cool. And I do like parts of the story, but then it just goes on and on. Like that end scene, it's just him explaining everything. Like, here's everything that I'm explaining throughout the franchise. This couldn't be properly conveyed over the games. I'm just going to tell you all of it now. I was going to say this is an unpopular opinion, but I don't think it is, because I think more people like Red Dead Redemption 2 more than GTA 5. Like, for me, it's not even close, and I think GTA 5 is awesome, but Red Dead Redemption 2 is on another level. Because you know why? It has the kind of goofy and weird. It has a lot of weird stuff in that game that you can go out and find in the game world. But it's such a serious tone while still having the comedy in there. Like, GTA 5 is all comedy. Actually, here's another one. I think 4 is better than 5 in a lot of ways as well. GTA 4 was like a gritty GTA, and it still had some of the over-the-top goofiness, but like Nico and his story and stuff, and the choices that were made, and some of the characters that died throughout. I didn't choose Roman. I chose this girlfriend. I was like, Roman can't die because Nico will freaking be done. Like, having to choose between Dwayne and Playboy X was a tough choice. There was not a tough choice between the two brothers, the drug addict brother and the cop. The cop was a dick. And was there another choice, or was it just those two? Oh, well, I'm not talking about like which one. Spoilers here. But in a lot of ways, I think 4 is a better game than 5, and I'm not talking from a gameplay standpoint. I'm more a story standpoint. Because it's the same thing with like a Dead Rising. Oh, cat's back. for me, the first Dead Rising is my favorite, but it is not the best game. I'm more like a story for me. I think 4 is the better story. Maybe that isn't that unpopular opinion. I don't know. I'll find out if enough people tear me up about it. I don't know. Let me see. The original Xbox for me is the best Xbox. And it's the best made Xbox. Okay, I will say up till Xbox One. I do not have a Series X, so I don't know how that one plays and how it's built. The original Xbox is superior than the 360. I'm talking design, toughness. The 360 was a disaster in terms of I remember the Red Ring of Death and all that shit. Now the cat's over there being annoying. This will be my last one. The Red Ring of Death, you gotta wrap the towel around your Xbox and overheat it to get it to work again. And then they made the that other model that actually worked. But that, like the original Xbox, like it had no problems. Like I remember my friend's brother dropped his down a flight of stairs by accident, and it still worked. I remember someone shooting it like in a video with a gun, and the thing still worked. That thing was a tank. It's almost like Microsoft peaked with the original Xbox in terms of the system itself. The Xbox 360 is the most popular console, and I would agree to that because they had the games and stuff. And my own experience with the Xbox One, cool system, but I made the mistake. I should have gotten the PS4 originally when we were choosing between both over the Xbox One. But the original Xbox, in my opinion, is the best Xbox. Out of the first 3, I cannot speak on the Series X. Those cats making too much noise now, but that's what I think. I just think it was the best made system out of the first 3, without a doubt. But yeah, that's just some more popular opinions. I don't know. Let me know how unpopular they really are. Sometimes I'm off the mark, and people are like, "Yeah, I agree." Most people do, but anyway, yeah. It was kind of a rant too, but thanks for checking this out, and have a good day.